I guess I should have done that beforehand. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Oracle Unicorn, and welcome to Coffee, Tea, and Chit-Chat. I have a coffee, some bacon, listening to a video. It was Joker video. There's a bunch of different ones nowadays, but it was very intriguing. I have written a letter before. I think it was, when was this? It was a long time ago. 2015? Wow. Yeah. 2015. Maybe 2013. It could have been 2014. Yeah. 2014, 2015. I met someone that was um, an Eastern Star. I guess I saw it on their bumper sticker or something because I ended up writing her a letter about it. I never really received anything back, but like they just kind of, I really stopped seeing them. And it was like an Eastern Star thing, and I was like, oh, that's supposed to be the female version. But I was like, okay, whatever, and just kept going on in my own path. And this video was explaining a lot of things relating to levels, and I was like, huh, well, that's interesting. And then some of it that it was explaining reminded me of the Book of Essex, and I was like, see, even some of the words that was being used, I was like, well, that's intriguing. I was like, this is an interesting one. And it had this background all looking like a comic book and shit. That was a really cool one. I liked it. And I was just so intrigued by the way they were explaining said person. And I was like, well, that makes me intrigued too, because half of this I didn't even realize some of these levels I activated within myself, that apparently you can't even get to these levels unless you even know about them. And I guess it taught them that some people are just able to tap into the frequency of certain things and just are naturally able to become it and go through the trials and tribulations without even knowing they're going through them. Like, I was like, okay, this makes sense. This is making this time make sense. And I was like, this is actually making a lot of my patterns in my life like make sense. I was like, okay. Now I finally got the understanding to the layout. It was almost like I had the syllabus, but I had no clue what the syllabus was for. But I guess to see its authenticity, you really can't know what the syllabus is for when in this direction, and in the other way, it's like you know what it's for, but you're trying to figure out how to actually achieve doing the syllabus. And I can imagine that being so much harder. So I guess sometimes in a way being labeled dyslexic made it easier. Because we're just known for doing things backwards anyway. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. But a lot of the times people like that tend to have difficulties working a job, even if it's not a physical thing, because they're so innovative that everyone around them just gets annoyed. And then the bosses get extra annoyed because, in my experience, I usually try to figure out the more productive and faster way, even though they say they supposedly have the productive and faster way, obviously. But then sometimes I'll get innovative with certain things. But I guess you've got, according to corporate, you've got standardized rules, and there's no, even if it's more productive, even if in a way it makes you more money, you cannot change said rules unless I guess you're GM. allows you general manager of like that town for that shop allows it. But even then, usually they're pretty stickler about things unless you're franchised. That makes it makes, what do they call that, spectrum now? No, that's just someone that's different, does things differently. And then they call it dyslexia and say, oh, you need medication for that. I don't think having 100 side effects is going to cure my issues. In hopes that it cures this issue. In reality, I've noticed it seems to give people more issues and wish they never took it and just dealt with the first issue they had. I've got So, like always, we'll go into a collective reading. But once I start going into a reading, coffee gets cold. And I was thinking about, after that reading, literally triggered my thought. And someone asked me about proof type thing. I'm like, I actually said no. Proof isn't everything. Consistency is everything because that's what it builds on. That's how it gives you your proof because it's a seed and dedication towards something. That's how you have a quote unquote murderer. Consistencies of killing, consistencies of stalking, which is the proof. And I was like, holy cow. And that was like sheer off whim. But I just pulled that out of the sky and was like, man, my brain works real fast. That showed me how fast that shit worked because I never thought about that before. And I shut it down in myself first before I actually was like, but people get the wrong proof of things. That doesn't show real consistencies and direction in things. So really, some proof is wrong, but consistency is always right, unless it's being fabricated. It doesn't make it proof. So with that millisecond, I was like, no, it's not even proof. It's consistency. Proof can be wrong. Proof can be proven wrong by consistency. I deserve a piece of bacon. I was like, damn, I'm impressed with myself on that. I didn't even take a minute to, I mean, I did, but it didn't hit me as heavy as after I watched that video. And then I started thinking back and I was like, well, damn, no shit. Sometimes it's hard to give yourself credit when you're just naturally doing what you're apparently destined to do. How are you supposed to give yourself credit? You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Hello. Good morning and welcome. Amusing. Happenings. So fascinated by happenings. Happenings of life. Your consistencies for results. That's why I naturally fell into that because I pay close attention to consistency that gives results that some people are proof, but to me it's a result. So I never thought about things on that simplified way of viewing things. I saw it deeper. So to me, that wasn't the right word. Because I don't pay attention to proof, I pay attention to what unfolds. Consistencies. Because consistencies give you your acknowledgement, knowledge of acknowledgement. Because sometimes having knowledge, you don't always have acknowledgement. Sometimes having acknowledgement, you don't always have the knowledge of what is the acknowledgement for. Now I know what it feels like to be a physicist. I tell you what. I do a lot of prayers to give me direction. Okay. Yep. The results of that society worldwide is not proof of existence. That is the consistencies of those words. That is not proof of existence. Because I don't see shit changing over Jesus saying to care about each other. Ain't none of y'all doing it. Y'all just warifying each other, killing each other off. You don't even take care of your kids in your neighborhoods anymore. You don't have each other's backs no more. So you can keep your prayers to yourself. I would suggest stop talking about it. Because that's how serious I am about the fact that Christians want to sit there and flaunt their pretty Christianity around when it didn't do shit but make y'all believe you're going to heaven in the afterlife while you literally hate your life. How can you enjoy your afterlife when you hated your life? I'd rather enjoy my life and not sit here and pray for death. No. I pray for the power to make things better. I pray for the support to make things better. I pray for the community to want to actually take action, since how your pretty little prayers don't seem to be working, to actually take action because that's cause and effect and that gives you your results, right? All right. To actually start taking action in Jesus' lessons instead of sitting there running your pretty little fucking mouths. So don't come at me with Christianity. That's your first clue. Because y'all nothing but fucking liars. You know how many churches, oh, we'll help you, oh, we'll help you, oh, we help you. No, you breadcrumb people. You give them some food, you give them some clothes that they lose on the street. You give them blankets that they don't get to keep because the cops throw them away. Oh, but you give them things. You know what Jesus gave them? Love. You know what Jesus would have done? Actually did create community by apparently your story that you don't uphold. Anyone else want to talk about Jesus? I suggest we don't. Because all your Jesus shit a living hell in life. Because that's all you do is judge and condemn each and every individual one of your neighbors. Is that what Jesus taught you? I think not, motherfuckers. So who's the hypocrites? Yo witches you burned? Or you who said you fixed everything and that it's all the witches' fault? Really? I think not. You know who has all the monies? Your Masonry, who says they do everything under God. Your Christians, who have all the churches with all the money. You have the Pope up there that does a lot of stuff with Hollywood. Do you need more? Because I suggest people with Christianity stop coming towards me. Or else I'm just going to keep disproving your stupid, blind faith that has done nothing but allow people to die. And if you want grounds to stand on, then I guess you Christians should get off your lazy asses and stop putting money into buildings and actually putting money into the homeless. Start serving as Jesus would serve. And then maybe you can come to me and talk about Christianity, because maybe I won't have something to say about your blasphemy. Who's next? I don't know what eating cake has anything to do with anything. someone might think they may be going to hell in every religion. That doesn't make any sense either. That just means you believe in yourself. So when DMT is activated in your brain, what you believe is what gets visualized. So please don't feel that way. You may be dark, you may be deep, and people may not understand you and are afraid of that. That doesn't mean you're going to hell in every religion you can think of. Shit. I can hardly think of one you may end up in Valhalla with. Shoot. I can think of another that all you really have to do is say, "Hey Jesus, please forgive me," and then do whatever you want. Because as long as you just say, "Jesus, forgive me," you're going to heaven. That's according to that religion. Or you can pray to Muhammad. Or you can believe in the Jews and then not believe in a prophet and get a bunch of money and just believe you're going to heaven. Or you can live your life like a farmer, believe in magical underpants, have the whole government support everything you do while you say you do everything on yourself, and you're treated better than the Native Americans. Honestly, the Jews make me want to shoot them in the head. But that's how I feel. Will I act on that? No. Because I'm sick of them motherfucking Nazis. Because that's where your asses came from. Being treated better than our Native Americans. How often do you see a, a Mormon, whenever you're a branch of Jew? I don't fucking care. I mean, like, I don't care about religion in general. So come at me with some witchcraft shit. I don't care. I'll say, well, technically sorcery this and technically shaman this. So I guess what you label me is what you think, not what I actually am. But I can speak about behavior. I can speak about what we do and our patterns and what we do here. How often have you seen even ICE trying to arrest a Native American, but they left the Mormons alone? That shows you allowance of immigration right there, even on Trump's end. Even on your fancy president who's a pedophile, that all y'all believe it does wonderful things, like ISIS, still protects foreigners and not you. Not even the people who own this land, technically, which are the Native Americans, because you can't just say you own something after you done stole it to someone and then everyone knows about it and you're just going to say you still own it. No, we all know about it. Technically, the Native Americans own it, and the Native Americans, if they stood up, they can tell each and every one of you motherfuckers what to do. That's getting their power back on their own land that was stolen from them. And how often do you arrest Mormons? Oh, no, no, not very often. You know where their land is. But somehow you forget where the Native Americans' lands are. You forget what a Native American looks like. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. And then all someone can comment is, "Do you bite?" And it says, "God of," yeah, well, because that's how much brains we lack in here in the United States. How impressive! How impressive! We're so stupid. Not even our own Masons know how not to be murderers. You're such a secret society and you think you're so much better than everyone. You don't know how to take care of the land's own people. No, you take care of outsiders instead. While you say the white people are American, so no, technically they're England. So we're foreigners too. So how does this make any sense? You're summing us up with the Native Americans. Oh, wow, okay. Sure. Right. Every land has indigenous people. Native American is the American indigenous people. That's okay. We've been lied to so much about our history, honestly. Who knows really the truth? Because it's not like all your officials want you to know the truth, because it's all about money. So, whatever appeases for having money, and you're the same person sitting there talking about do you bite? And that's the comment you come up with. Yep, it really destroyed the intelligence of America. And technically, it's not even its real name, apparently. Something else. And apparently, Christopher Columbus didn't even find the land first. So you're just supposed to force me to believe what you say. That is not even the native. I'm talking about indigenous people of this land. You're sitting there just trying to down exactly what I'm saying. Like everyone here is immigrants. No, there were indigenous people of this land. That's why they don't have to pay taxes, but it's okay. With your first comment, I see how much brains you've got. It's like this is apparently we have to be the bigger people and ban people because you don't know how to use social media to actually do better in your world. No, you just know how to give up everything over to a bunch of people that just want to stay rich and do magic over your whole neighborhoods and steal your children. And act like you don't know what's being shipped overseas. Like you ain't got enough AI to sit there and scan over that and go through uh, metal, be able to see through metal. You're gonna tell me you understand how to make sex bots, but you don't know how to see what's in containers without even opening them. But you know how to see a human being in a home and what they're doing 24/7. Welcome to Coffee, Tea, and Chit Chat, where I would like to be able to talk with people with some real understanding and open eyes and not sit there and be just like our officials and suppress the shit out of us as if we don't actually have a point in general. While we're really watching constantly the Native Americans not even getting any bigger. That makes me wonder why. And even then, it's not like their culture is even having a chance to stick around because some of them want to be able to enjoy the society of life. But that's exactly what you did. You did that on purpose to have them do that. So it makes it harder for them to keep their culture going and keeping their blood of their own land going. That's like stealing the heart from an island and saying it's okay, it'll heal that island being on another island. And you made two movies of this movie. Moana, okay, so y'all seem to think putting a stone on another island is what's going to just allow that island to go ahead and heal itself. Even though this is animated and imaginatively animated, I understand understand that. But it has grounding of truth to it. All things like this have groundings of truth to it. It's just taking the time to understand where it originated from. Most of our movies nowadays are not brand new ideas. They are refurbished ideas. Like, literally. They want to say remastered to make it sound pretty, but no, you're just refurbishing something someone already built. That's all we see most of the time in most of our movies nowadays, or this CGI stuff, which is interesting. I do like, well, not CGI, the AI new movies. Um, that's interesting. What's the difference between CGI? I guess CGI is y'all still creating the characters. AI is AI generating the characters. Is that what happened? Okay. CG create, was it creating imagery, imagery, creating generated imagery. Okay, so AI imagery, artificially incinemated imagery. No, AI generated image. AI image generated. So created, generated image. So artificially, intelligently generated image. Oh, okay. So that's how, when it comes to the AI generated images, there's always a defect. Either there's an extra finger, there's an extra leg, or there's a leg missing, or there's always something that is off. I guess CGI, it was almost like it was like you can tell, but it was more accurate to reality to a point with imaginary added to it. Well, with those of you creating crazy ass movies, so I guess the ones that are paid probably are more accurate and doesn't do. So the app ones are the ones that does the defects, because I even see them in the YouTube videos. The AI images always have some sort of defect somewhere. Fingers, six fingers. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like six fingers and shit. Like one of my videos I watched all the time. I think it was a Japanese beat one, has like six fingers or three arms and one leg. Like it looks like it's supposed to be turned, but yeah, you could see how it's kind of not. How this is supposed to be this leg, but then in the ankle you could see how it's some like. It was wild. Morning. Good morning. So. morning, Lori Bob. How are you? I hope you're having a good morning. It's a pleasure to see you here. I figured the more I stay keeping on time and coming on here, the more I'll start collectively every day having people kind of like how we were doing on Facebook. So I'll figure it out. I'll do my best. Okay. Yeah, airport. Yeah. That's what's up. We've only really been talking about 30 minutes. We had some bacon so far, and we had some coffee. I'm about to finish my coffee so I can move into a reading. I was gonna say, I'll get penalized if that hears that in the background. I know, I'm just saying, giving you a heads up. Like, if that's why I'm letting you know. Okay. 6 of Wands, Queen of Cups. Okay. So we have things shifting when it comes to emotional news. Heavy, it looks like heavy emotional news towards a star type person or an Aquarius. There is Nine of Swords energy relating to a fire sign female tied to victory, but the victory is under this star sign and the emotional news is under this Queen of Wands relating to Wheel of Fortune and Nine of Swords. So it feels like this, however it may be. Some it could be the Aquarius that's in this Nine of Swords tied to a victory that they feel probably had a lot of fights relating to. Others of you, this Aquarius doesn't know, and it's Nine of Swords with this Queen of Wands about an Aquarius or someone of a wish element, because this could be the fire sign female having Nine of Swords energy, waiting on victory and a wish fulfillment, and news coming in. So news coming in about emotional fulfillment that had a bunch of anxiety, and achieving victory further on, past this level. I feel like I could breathe in. Yes. Um, Emotional balancing out when it comes to a project falling apart about a betrayal. And then, yes, you did get the Queen of Swords behind that. And this is sheltering or left out in the cold. Yeah, that's definitely left out in the cold about a passionate direction or having to make a decision with the Queen of Cups Empress about the past, watching, and the King of Pentacles and work. And that's the Knight of Cups. So yeah, that has been worked on. This is very close, emotionally close. There was energy back here about a possible apology, but I doesn't seem to have fully developed. because it's still sitting over here. Yeah, there's still kind of like options of apology, or options of this child. Thinking about options relating to this child and direction with this person and this child. So this is hoping for victory relating to home, tower, judgment, moving forward. See, it could have been a Capricorn and a Gemini, and the Ace of Cups in this, or a Capricorn about a Gemini and an Ace of Cups of this. Jeez. Nine of Cups, secret, overindulgence. Overindulgence of an emotional secret. And you're the Aquarius, or you're this in this wild card star. Okay, so that is the elements I'm talking about, because I feel there is a dual aspect here. There are some good fire females, and there are some really horrible fire females that have really just ruined their six. Dark, very some dark complexion. Some of them may have dark hair. Um, and there's this justice energy about a group being lied to and helping this person over these lies. And this is what's flipping on its head on this one. This don't feel very, this feels very sad. It's like very sad. Attachments. See, we've got, damn, you get double again. You got Sagittarius straight up all over this, and you have Capricorn straight up all over this. And balancing harmony with children, a flood that was lost, a flood of possible children that were lost. I only say that if vulnerable. Wow. Greenland vulnerable about this tower and children in temperance energy. So, was there an issue, and did it end up being someone on your own land? Anyway, tower, water, harmful intent. So, water. There's something about this water card for a lot of you. It's a message for some of you, and it's going to help you to reveal some sort of information that is not going to be brought to you, but it's because they don't know. But this is ancestrally being given to you because of a balancing act in your own ancestral understanding. And it has something to do with water. Either that be a water sign, which water sign kept coming up, but didn't fully fall out in the reading, so they're probably on the sidelines. And Tower Chaos relating to this. And for some of you, you're about to find out, like, my child was where? And this country is probably going to be shaking in their boots about that. But here on a lower level, this person just scared to go to prison. Well, I keep end up on higher levels. I don't mean to. On a higher level, it's like you. How am I gonna explain this? Because you're freaking out so bad, you don't even know what to freaking do with yourself. Um, you're gonna need to demand someone that's gonna be able to listen to you and be able to look at all the minute facts with you, because it's almost like you're seeing how much this is a frame, and you're about to like something, I feel like something comes in the middle that then it's it gets figured out, and it's almost like it gets proven because of consistencies in other areas, because of those consistencies actually proving these consistencies fake. Okay. um oh my gosh, I feel like someone's out freaking out. Oh, you're trying to ask for help too. Oh my gosh, I don't think any of y'all quite know what to do yet. All I'm hearing is wait for the oracle. Oh my god. You kidding me? Really? No way. I'm dumbfounded. This is not funny. No, it's not a laughing matter. I apologize. Oh, okay. Loyalty. Mexico, you fuck some shit up. Oh my goodness. Mexico's about to fucking have some shit laid in on them freaking. I feel like your karma's so overdue. This is rough. Because of retaliations. I mean, like, you can't just skip out of karma just because, oh, well, I did it because they did it. Well, you're still going to get your retaliations as much as they're getting their retaliations. So you're still going to get your karma because your evolvement out of that karma would have been to do things differently. But you decided against that because you decided to be egotistical and say, well, I'm the motherfucking boss, so I don't give a fuck about any one of you. As much as that's okay because we have free will. Community is important. Collectiveness and understanding and working together is very important. And eventually, one day you're going to see that. And the one person that you framed could have been the only person that would have been willing enough to forgive your actions of insubordination to not just help you, but help your civilization that you've got left. And I don't care if they listen to me or not, because I'm just relaying a message. Whether you get it or not, you're going to get whatever you got coming for you. I just happen to be a possibility of a change. It doesn't do anything, it doesn't do anything. Others take it in consideration, others take it in consideration. Will you be the one to stop anything? No, you're just stopping it for yourself. Just because you've dropped out doesn't mean that it's going to stop the whole collective unification. You're actually going to end up with a lot of animosity on your own land. And I don't feel that that's going to be very happy to deal with. And you would just end up a slaughterhouse like you've been having. You're just kind of redirecting it to other countries. But if you ain't got no other country to redirect that with, what's going to happen to your own country, if not worse? I mean, a lot of your own civil citizens don't even want to be on your land anyway. They have to move outside of country or work outside of country to even be able to develop anything on your land. And you seem to think you have grounds to stand on to be alone? Well, I wonder, is that, was there a time Agent Orange was on y'all's land? That's probably why. US, that's probably why. Just because I theorize doesn't make it mental illness. That's like calling physicists nothing but mentally ill people when they actually gave you science. So, good job, everyone. I guess they are admitting themselves that that's what they are. Oh, welcome back. It is good to see you. Another great day in paradise to see you this morning, new friend. Yay! It's a pleasure to see you, new friend. And I was not directed towards you, but I'm pretty sure you could see. It's a pleasure to see you. A pleasure. Pleasure to see my people here. Eventually, we'll have a good group going and we won't have to deal with any of this craziness, and I'll be able to have a moderator, which it does have actual settings to be able to set people as moderator, like easy here now. Yep, I'm as moderator. Put user into or hide user on this channel. Or report. Yeah, fuck report. Your AI should be able to do all this stuff like it's pieces of cake, and you just don't. Like, I just, the neglect in areas we could use AI and the overuse of AI in some of the most family destructive ways of human natural needs. All right, we have a grandmother that fell into the papers, so we're going to go ahead and put some papers out for this grandmother because I feel like this grandmother has something to say. She probably wore a dark dress a lot or some sort of dark clothes. They for some C-section and a father. Okay, I can see them. I can see some. I'm just gonna put them over here and just don't look and grab. Guess that's what some of you men do, because you don't know how. Because you're womanizers. And we seem to think it's okay to sexually abuse without even having any repercussions for it. Bill Gates. What? Bill Gates Auditorium. YouTube. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Father. So it's probably good Bill Gates people that probably send people after me. And probably a few others that I have their names in here for. Well, I mean, I saw the Epstein things and people doing Epstein YouTube videos, and Bill Gates was one of the names that was brought up in the land about the land being shared or bought out very cheap. Bill Gates and Richardson, Richard or something other. There was another one, and that was because of it, Epstein having connections to their public land. Oh, King, Gary King, that's another one. Because the only reason I got their names is because you're connected right in front of you. Well, well, because your names are connected to Epstein land. So, like, how can you say you don't have any ties toward that when you have all of that and you're willing to do it on, you knew about something. You were, and we have Alaska here. Cut birthday knife. YouTube a father Alaska cut birthday knife. Grandmother auditorium. older older research right in front of you, younger. Train. So that is for this grandmother energy. All right, little grandmother. Okay, we got you your little message. Now we're gonna move you off to the side here. This little grandmother message, okay? Got the little grandmother message. You just gotta stay brave. Because grandmother said it's gonna be hard. But you're gonna stay brave, okay? And that's someone's good little grandma. Okay, now if this is a grandma that someone has one evil grandma. Okay. And you know what that applies to if you have an evil grandma, but I'm gonna talk about this cute little grandma, okay? This new adventure relating to family. Okay. And what else we have? We have release, revealing information, new house, police officer, PI, personal investigation, teacher, physics. So for some of you, this is a PI, an officer, personal investigator, new house, release, tied to a principle of physics. For some of you, others of you, there's this officer investigating a new house about this principle and things going on a release form to be able to search something relating to some sort of like uh, scientist stuff. I sound like Penny on that one because I don't think it's physics. I feel like this is more on a biological cloning stand. That is what that's speaking to me about. Going, oh, yeah, of a new matrix. And there's a lot of specific things going on about these famous people getting cloned and completely changing, like being like more robot oriented, like lack of emotion. Almost makes you wonder if there's like a lack of soul there. Like it may be an animated biological figure, but is it like AI where it doesn't really harvest consciousness on that level? Because they seem to be so melatonin, like certain adults that lack empathy or emotion just melatonin. That's terrifying. Because that makes it, where that's how you get your psychopaths. Where they just kill and no remorse, no care in the world about it. Fake delivery person of the rich pain game when it comes to family death. So someone faked a death? The karmic boss. Oh, so someone tried to make a clone for the rich paying gang for the money for a replacement, like in the group replacement. So it has to be a part of the community before you can switch it out in public. It didn't work. You couldn't get it to be me. Or whoever this person you're trying to recreate. Play God. You couldn't get it to be this person. See, that's exactly why it's haunted. And that's exactly why there's this devil and attachments. If the karmic boss did this. Now you've got a bunch of fucking evidence. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna do with. Because it didn't work. Because you can't use it. I mean, yeah, it worked. But you can't use it. It's like buying a piano, but it doesn't have the strings. It looks great. You can try to make it do its sound, but without its strings, it just does not work. It's like it's useless. It's paperweight. You can't do nothing with it unless you get strings. Same thing with a phone. You really can't do much with a phone unless you have service or Wi-Fi. It's paperweight or a storage thing. And same thing. That is what you figured out. And that is why I feel they're probably working so hard relating to consciousness was you're trying to shift people's consciousness from the original into the clone. How is that? They're still going to be who they are, so all of the difficulties, you're just kind of giving them a new body. What? Eternal life? So that you can have eternal living here on earth? You just switch out bodies instead of making it full mechanical to be able to keep living. What is all this for? For an industry, to keep an industry going, just to keep the money going? You are that afraid of the afterlife, I suppose. You must not even know what to believe. This makes sense. This is starting to make sense. Someone is such an atheist, they're too afraid to die. Or they fucked up so much in their life, they're too afraid of where they're going to end up after they die. So, at this point, they just don't care. At this point, there are no rules. Besides, just stay alive as long as possible and do what you want. That is rough. Damn. Pressure is validation. You're feeling the pressure. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Healing. Okay. The king. A crash in the south. Prime minister, principal teacher. That clarified haunted principal teacher. Is there a prime minister that's also a teacher? There's one that could be a monk. That would make you a teacher. In the matrix. The matrix of life, the matrix of self, the matrix of the mind, the understanding, the flows. I think this crash reveals, yeah, it is. It's on top of the revealing. That's why butterfly is there. So it's coming out of its cocoon stage. You were in cocoon stage, or this shift, this transference, was in a cocoon stage, and now it's breaking out. This crash, fake delivery, revealing of information in the south, and then enactment of understanding is coming in direction. Okay, world unity paused. Yeah, because I mean, how can you have a foundation if it's all built off of a bunch of lies? It's gonna sink. That's like saying, yeah, the boat is fixed, but all you did was put duct tape in the hole. That hole's gonna, it's gonna, the water's gonna push that duct tape right off the hole, or it's just gonna leak through. It's the same thing. You have to do solidify and stronghold the foundation before anything else can be built. And if it's a rocky foundation, nothing is going to stay in place. It's all going to come down like a crumbling tower. And trying to force a bunch of lies to hold something up like it's truth. I mean, okay. So we got pause dying. Really? Pause dying secret plans of a blackout. So I would say secret plans of a blackout overseas are dying. Who the hell are tribe leaders? Y'all tribe leaders really keep coming out a lot. Winning evidence, that's good. About the Queen, stop USA, change Native Americans. Native American animals, torture, cleaning. Mob boss, turning toys. Coming together, save the East of the end of some sort of disaster, mini healing tied to war over children being found and lives being revealed over a human-made disaster to make it look like a natural disaster. President of the West. Ships, fights, children. Information. Reforming world unity. Tears and gifts. Flying and move. Someone's moving. After this gets cleared up. We'll throw in some papers. I'm going to shift off this energy here. Maybe a few more upgrades in life. Falling in love. Huh? Someone has an upgrade in life? You're going to be falling in love. What does it say? It's a unicorn samurai, you're back, yes, loyalty. Revealing information, shovel, country, ancestors. Absolutely not. 12 principles, divine love, ocean. Okay. Yeah, there's an element of trusting Norway. Tribe, divine masculine, knowing feeling. The star, human, south, off. Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, Queen of Wands, making a difficult decision tied to holding back. Nine of Swords, energy. Because of really tied to wish of betrayal. Secrets. Talk so much about justice. We write it on our money, and yet we don't care diddly squat about it. As long as Moving to calmer waters. Okay. At least that's good. Better. Watching. Studying Ten of Cups energy, the Emperor, Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this is not much of an Aries. This could be, this feels more Taurus energy and a decision about knowledge of stress, anxiety, stresses over possibly a Capricorn, especially with this being a feminine uh, Queen of Pentacles constantly coming out with a Temperance and Sagittarius. But this Queen of Pentacles could also be balancing out their emotions over lies and the truths being revealed. And then everything unfolding of everything that has happened going, oh, okay, yeah, that all fits that. Everything that played out fits that as a solution, not that as a lie. That's what someone is saying. Anyway, moving forward, like this page of wands here. Russia ship 777 car garage building leaving country. The entrance. Forever. Ring of animals. Solved New Mexico. Panama City Beach. Oh, okay, well, at least it's somehow solved a bit. Contract. Dark dress. Prison. Trump. Pink. Pink must be in a lot of stuff. Brick wall. Tea. Trays. Tea trays. Animals. Dark GPT. Wait. A mother. Covered. Kidney. Little St. James. Black. Fortnite. Members. Like high members. High members. Uncle. Computer Intel. Organs. Laptop. Show. Afghanistan. War camps. Hole in the ground by the tree in the forest. South America. LA. A lot. Loyalty. Gambling. Gambling's loyal. BIGO. Someone's gambling loyalty with BIGO. So is that the owner of BIGO? Truck. Flipping the coin. Neighborhood. Job. More food. Gators. Addiction. White Buffalo Road. Burning bodies. Attic hatch hidden in Ohio. Gas station. Father. Mental chess. Keys and keychain. St. Lucie. Facebook warehouse. Tallahassee. New home. Eminem. New case. All right, well, that's all I've got for you. I hope you'll have a wonderful day. See you next time, and thank you for hanging out with me, chit chatting with me, and enjoying a little bit of just playing with papers and cards. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.